Welcome, friends. Welcome back to the kitchen. Today, I'm making, one of those really simple sheet pan dinner recipes. Something that you don't have to think too much about. That you can really play with the flavors. You can play with the ingredients. You can use whatever you have in your kitchen to make this work. So I had half a lemon left over from making that banana cake. So that's going to be part of our marinade or our sauce. So in goes the lemon juice. Now I'm making my own marinade or sauce, but if you have a favorite vinaigrette that comes in a bottle from the grocery store that you like the flavors of, use that. The whole idea of this sort of meal is that it's supposed to be quick and easy. You shouldn't have to think too much about it, and it should have flavors that you enjoy. Simple as that. So next I've got some olive oil. Doesn't have to be the best olive oil out there. Just use what you've got. I'm going to be putting some olives on the tray later, so a little bit of the brine from the jar. And that's one of those things that if you have some pickle juice in your fridge that you like the flavor of, throw that in. Again, don't overthink it. I've got some Dijon mustard. I really like the flavor of mustard with chicken, and I think the mustard goes well with some of these herbs that I've got going on over here. So I'm going to put that in. And then for flavorings, I have red pepper flakes, salt, black pepper, thyme, oregano, and marjoram. And just whisk that together. Okay, and we'll give that a taste. That's good. That's good. It's got good flavor. I like that. On the edge of maybe being a little bit too salty. The olive brine might have been saltier than I expected, but that's something you can play with. Taste it first before you add your salt and check. On the edge, but still not too salty. Now, for the vegetables, I've just got a mix of vegetables. Use whatever you have, use whatever you like. I have some shallots. This is the part of the head of a cauliflower that was in the fridge, and it was on the edge. I've got a red bell pepper. You could use whatever color you like. I've got a hot banana pepper, because I like hot banana peppers. There's a zucchini just chopped up, and a potato chopped up fine. Well, not too fine, but you get the idea. Now, of course, you don't have to mix this together in a bowl. You could just dump this on the sheet pan and then drizzle on the olive oil and herb mixture. In order to coat the vegetables, I kind of like the idea of doing it in a bowl. I seem to think, for me, that it mixes a little bit better. But if you want to do it on the tray and save yourself having to clean a bowl and your countertop because you're messy, go right ahead. Just mix this on the tray. But I tend to think that I can get better mixing in a bowl. Okay, sheet tray. On goes the veg. Now, into the same bowl, I'm going to toss in the chicken. Forgot the tomatoes. I forgot the tomatoes. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. So, the rest of that goes in with the chicken, and then we just mix the chicken around and get it coated on all sides. And of course, for this part of the operation, the best tool is your hands. Sometimes it's awkward for me to use my hands because I'm back and forth to manage the camera, and I end up washing my hands, dozens of times, and it just takes so long for me to get through a recipe. So today I'm going to use tongs. Just get the chicken onto the sheet pan. Of course, get the chicken on there, skin side up, get it nestled in between the vegetables. Try not to crowd the tray too much, give everything a little bit of room, but of course all of these things are difficult to do. Now, tomatoes, I'm probably only going to use about half of those. Get them in there, toss them around, get them coated, and I'll just stick those on there now as well. Now the last thing is the olives, and I don't really need to coat the olives in the vinaigrette that we made, so I'm going to pull out a few of these. I would normally buy olives that have the pits in them, and these are olives with the pits in them. There's something about the texture. They retain their texture better, and when they've got the pits in them. And I really do like the texture. Now, if you're serving this to guests and you don't want them to bite down unknowingly onto a pit, take the pits out before you put them in the oven. Julie knows to look for the pits. I don't have to remind her. She'll know, and I'll know. And it doesn't really bother us at the table to have to get a pit out of our dinner. But if you're bothered by the pits, take them out first. Now, this just goes into a preheated oven, 425 degrees, and you just roast it. At about the 20-minute mark, I'm going to go in with the tongs and I'll move everything around, make sure that it's roasting evenly, and then you're just watching it to see when the chicken is cooked through and the skin is nice and crispy.
Hey, Glen.
Hey, Jules.
Hey, friends.
Fork.
That looks very pretty. It's got lots of colors.
That is.
Ooh, and cauliflower.
Yeah, it's just cauliflower was on its last legs.
That's great use for
fridge.
That's the best thing about anytime you throw vegetables into something.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's got to go, and you just toss it in. It tastes great.
So that was a half an hour, 425.
What's on it?
So I made a little vinaigrette, olive oil.
It's like a salad dressing kind of thing?
Yeah, olive oil, lemon juice, the brine from the olives, a couple of different herbs. What else?
Like in the same ratio?
No, I didn't use a ratio. I sort of used I mostly just plopped stuff in a mixing jug and mixed it. You don't have to be that exact. You really don't have to be that exact. But the mustard helped it emulsify really nicely.
Oh, there's mustard too.
Yeah, a little bit of Dijon mustard. So.
Sorry, I just want a little piece. I don't want to.
But the flavors really worked out. And the chicken?
Transfers nice to the chicken too.
Yeah. Excellent. The skin is nice and crispy.
Ooh, it's still really hot though. That might be too hot.
Okay.
Just giving you the warning. Yeah. Too hot.
So, I use chicken. Use any protein. It could be steak. It could be fish. It could be tofu. Any vegetables that you have, just chop them up in a way that they're going to cook at a fast enough rate. And any vinaigrette, any flavored vinaigrette.
It sounds like you could even use a vinaigrette you've already got in your fridge.
I held one up and said, if you've got one you like, use it. I mean, if that gets this on the table really quickly. So half an hour in the oven and maybe 15 or 20 minutes of chopping vegetables before you throw it in the oven. It's really fast, and it can be anything. Dinner doesn't have to be hard. You don't have to overthink it.
So I think we need to get plates.
We need to get plates. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.